With the rise of Filipino talents, this company helps them develop their skills and find the best opportunities for them. We now speak with the CEO of DOXA Talent, David Nilssen. He's based in Seattle, Washington, but he now joins us here in Manila. Thank you so much for joining us, David.
Thanks for having me today.
All right, you have a growing company, a growing operation here in the Philippines, 750 employees. What skill sets do you like about the Filipino talent?
Well, the Philippines is obviously a very diverse and rich talent pool. For us, we serve small businesses which need a variety of different types of talent, everything from finance to engineering to sales and creative services. And all of that is available here. So for us, we don't have a specific vertical that we're focused on. We rather put the customer at the center and go find the talent that we need to help them to complete their jobs. The reality is that the Philippines has that talent here.
Yes, indeed. A lot of very talented people here. But of course, the businesses that you work with are small enterprises in the United States. And you have brought them here to the Philippines.
Yeah, we have. We're here this week because, our belief is that the industry itself was not set up for small businesses, right? The, large businesses who have a high volume of repeatable tasks, and they want to outsource those to this large-scale BPO. The reality is the small business owner doesn't want to have a transaction, they want to have a relationship. And so for us, as we're serving those small business customers, we've invited those CEOs to come here to see their workers, to build a relationship with those individuals and continue to develop that relationship with them long term.
And that's great, right? Because usually if it's a BPO, the relationship is only on the phone, right? I mean, the CEOs of these businesses in the United States never really get to meet the people that they work with on the ground.
Well, and they often don't even get a chance to talk to them. So in this particular case, we don't have any sort of middleman. There is a direct relationship between our team members and the customers they serve. But it's our belief that it's important for the customer to have that direct connection so that the individual doesn't feel like the outsourced worker. And I believe that's one of the reasons why we've seen so low turnover relative to the industry standard.
Oh yeah, the attrition rate here among the BPOs is really very high. If you just offer another 1,000 or 2,000 pesos, they will move.
That's exactly right. Yeah, the acceptable standard is 50% per year, which means somebody may last only 2 years on average. And for us, we've set our target at 20%, which means we want to see people stay for at least 5 years. And we believe that the relationship is one piece of that, but if we help them to develop their skills so they can increase their impact and as a result of that, increase their income, we'll have that sort of continued lasting relationship.
And you talk about a lasting relationship between your company, the people in DOXA Talent, and the small businesses in the United States. So how are you trying to foster that closer relationship while the CEO of small businesses are here in the Philippines?
Well, I think it's a little bit easier in small businesses because there's less hierarchy and you have more easier access to those leaders, right? So it naturally
direct communication.
That's exactly right. But we do try to foster that, like this week where we have DOXACon. We've invited them in and we are curating this 3-day experience so that they're getting a chance to build those relationships, learn together, grow together, and even give back together.
Give back together, learn together, and maybe even potentially for these small businesses, which have how many employees maximum, David?
Well, our average small business customer has about 5 people with us, but our largest is now about 100.
100. And of course, they could also potentially see the Philippines as another investment destination apart from the U.S.
That is certainly our goal, right? And by bringing them here and having them actually build those relationships and understand what other CEOs are doing and leveraging talent, we expect that will continue to grow those relationships, not just with the people, but also with our organization as well.
And tell us more about the small businesses that you are working with in the United States. From which states are they and from which industries and sectors?
Well, we're a fully remote organization, so we're not limited by geography, both on the talent side or even the client side. A large number of our clients are west of the Mississippi, but that's just generally because of where our founders and the initial team was based, but we have people all across the U.S.
And are you continuing to look for talent here in the Philippines, beyond the 750 that you already have full-time with DOXA Talent?
Yeah, so we've actually been in market for about 2.5 years, and we're excited by the progress that we've had, 750 people in 2 years. And our NPS score with our clients is 81, so clearly we're delivering great value, and the talent is living up to the expectation. We expect to continue to double and even triple our organization in the coming years here in the Philippines.
And how does the Philippines, how is the Philippines as a working environment compared to the other countries where you have operations?
Yeah, so we do have operations in Kenya and Colombia and other parts of the world. The Filipinos themselves are hard workers, they're loyal people, they want to continue to learn and grow, and they have great relevant skills. The challenge in this environment, though, is it's very dynamic, right? So no matter what you've done prior in your career, what skills you have today, those can quickly become outdated. So it's our job as an organization to make sure that we help them continue to develop those and stay up to date with modern work trends and expectations.
Well, working trends and expectations, and of course, it is also very important, as you state, the relationship, the fostering relationship between the business, DOXA, and of course, the small business, and then of course, front and center over the past year has been artificial intelligence, right? And there's this fear among a lot of Filipinos and people around the world that their jobs will be taken. Even the virtual assistants, even the inquiries will be taken over by AI.
Yeah, I hear a lot of that. I don't subscribe to that same belief. If you look at most of the major technological revolutions, from the steam engine to the internet and IoT, a lot of people were concerned about the impacts that would have on industries, jobs overall. The reality is, in most cases, it actually created more opportunity as a result. I do believe that there's going to be those companies today that embrace AI and they use that as a way to amplify the potential of their teams, and those that don't. We're on the side that we are certainly starting to leverage that. We, in fact, have internal training that we have developed, and it's a big part of our conference today. We've got 2 speakers coming in to talk about how to actually leverage technology, AI in particular, to do more with your workers. I don't believe that it's going to be taking jobs away.
But what is the interest, David, among Filipino employees to upskill and reskill and learn, a new subject like artificial intelligence?
Some don't have that interest, but we actually filter for this in our hiring process. We want people that are obsessed with learning, who want to grow and develop and continue to increase the impact they have. That aligns with our values as an organization, and that is the primary thing that we want out of our people, is that insatiable appetite to grow.
And if someone works for DOXA Talent, what are basically the benefits vis-a-vis working for another outsourcing company?
Yeah, well, look, there's been this emergence of outsourcing companies ever since the pandemic that are acting in what we call the gray economy, and that's where they're contracting people, they're not employing them, they're not bound by the same HR laws and protections. We believe that all of our workers should have those protections of employment, but also some added benefits. And the one that I'd like to just point out is that we have over 800 people across the world, and we are in a fully remote environment. So from that case, in the Philippines, as you know, traffic is terrible. Our average worker saves 3.5 hours per day not commuting to work. That's 30 days per year they get to give back to their family and invest in their communities.
And of course, everybody wants to have that hybrid environment, right? Work from home or even go to a physical office. At least you have that work-life balance.
Yeah, what's interesting, though, is that if you look at the data, and I actually did a recent survey with workers, not just within DOXA, but outside of that, and what we found is actually only 10% of those individuals really want to be in an office for 3 or 4 or more days per year, or per week, which means that they want us to pay for an office that they're going to use part-time. And I believe that's actually a disadvantage for an organization, because if you try to be an in-office organization and a remote workforce, you're paying for both, but you can't be best in class in either. We went with remote because we felt like it was better for our people, and that is where the modern workforce trends are moving. We want to be a leader in that.
All right, David, you've been in the Philippines now for several years. What is the potential of this country as an investment destination?
I think it's infinite. I mean, as you know, the outsourcing industry is a very large portion of GDP here, but that has been done really based on serving enterprise-level clients. Today now, because talent scarcity is a worldwide issue, remote work, because of the pandemic, is something that's being widely embraced, and as a result of that, now small and medium-sized businesses are really pouring into this market. I think there's a lot of potential for the Philippines.
Well, that's great to know, especially from DOXA Talent, the CEO, David Nilssen, based in Seattle, Washington, joining us here in Manila.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great time.